does not look like Miss Basil is going to show up, so I will get to her individually. First, I wanted to check in with the two of you. I know it's been a while. I've been out of town handling some other things. How are things here without me?
Business has been running pretty well. I'm sorry, I'm a little sick, but
That's okay.
otherwise, things have been going well.
Aaron?
I've seen a few things at the docks, here and there.
Anything of note?
Yeah, I did see one thing of note there. There was a crew that was in the port the other day. They left early morning, and for a while they didn't return until about evening, carrying sacks. What they had, I believe sacks of looked like grain. You know, it's like they smuggled food in or something. Not sure who it was or what. I didn't recognize any of them, but the only one I could really tell a description is that one of them was Triton.
Well, I suppose food coming into the city is only going to help people. I'm sure you heard we are going to be rationing our food. Well, most of the people will be rationing their food, not the nobles, I guess, since they have been stockpiling everything. But the main reason I wanted to bring...
for ourselves.
Thank you, Casimir. And Miss Basil is a wonderful cook. She can make a little go a long way. So I assume we will be fine, and if not, we have the money to bribe whoever we need to make sure we can eat well. We look after our own, after all. The main reason I wanted to talk to two of you... Oh, go ahead.
I do have a point of business. We have started to receive money from our associates, 2 silver after their expenses have been covered.
Which ones are those?
So that'll be coming in. Our people here in Nautis, the back pay.
I see.
It's 2 silver a day after they handle their own expenses. But, you know, money flow is good for us. And the other thing is I've noticed the Imperium seems to be moving troops up the coastline. I've heard them talk in whispers as they've gone by me about potentially replacing their ammo situation.
Well, I suppose it pays to keep an eye on them. I've heard a lot about them
If it's
myself.
true, it could change the war.
We will see. You said changing their ammo from...
Replacing their ammo that they didn't have.
Oh, I see. I heard that there was an attempt to build a lead mine out just north of the city. Just past the embassy, actually. Maybe that's what we are seeing. If not, it's pays to keep an eye on them at least. The main thing I wanted to bring all of you here today is, well, we have built a solid foundation, I believe. We have quite a bit of coin to sit on, thanks to Casimir's tip-off about the silver bars. And I think it's time we start putting it to use. So, each of you will have a task to do over the next coming days or weeks or months. And I would like you to handle it. Casimir? Well, let's start with you, Darren. I'm sure you've already heard along the docks that they are planning to build a new wharf to allow things in and out of the city. I want you to do
Rumors here and there.
whatever it takes to ensure that you and any extra, for lack of better phrase, hirelings, underlings, position yourselves accordingly within that dock itself. I want to know as much as I can on what is coming into the city, what is leaving the city, who is coming into the city. So you are welcome to take as much of the stockpile as you need to make sure you establish yourself down there. If you need to pay off some people to help you, by all means, if you can convince them, even better. If we need to do something to assure allegiances, you let us know and we will handle it. It is important that we get a very strong, firm hold on this wharf. Are we in agreement on this?
Very well. Have you done?
So you will be looking at things coming into this city. I'm going to talk to Miss Basil and have her expand her reach a little bit to keep an eye on things that are already in the city. Which leaves you, Casimir. And this is going to be one of the more dangerous tasks. I need to establish strong footholds in several of the surrounding cities, including Corsetto and eventually Balerno. So whatever you need to do to ensure we have, well, ideally a cell of people in each of those cities working for you specifically. Since you are all acting as more or less my lieutenants, you can handle your own sectors and we won't get our wires crossed, as it were. So whatever you need to do, and you will probably have the lion's share of anything we can share out from our current gold pile to establish people, informants, and ideally safe houses in each of those two cities, Balerno and Corsetto.
Of course.
And then eventually, after that is established, and this is going to be the big risk, I want another cell located in Palamin, in the Vapex territory. After this orc kerfuffle is handled, we know that the Vapex are going to make their move onto Nautis province proper. I would like to know ahead of time so we can prepare ourselves in case we need to fend for ourselves or stockpile food or rations or whatever. Now, Casimir, this is going to be, for the most part, you may be traveling there yourself, which means if you need to hire on more help or if you need to take the muscle that we hired on a few weeks back, I expect you to do that. You have access to the money that we have here. I am going to go and talk to the leather worker today to get a set of leather armor for you, and probably for you as well, to ensure that you are safe, and maybe get you some kind of short sword or something to make sure you can protect yourself. So whatever you need to do with that money, I trust you to establish those cells. Start small, move out. Any questions?
Nope, it sounds straightforward. Though will I have the ability to call on you as things get a little rough?
Absolutely. We want to establish these as strong as we can. We've done well.
The new boss show himself a little bit, just to cement our place.
If that's what we need to do, ideally. The idea of this setup that we have here is that each of you will be leading your own groups of people. You will be handling the outside cells, you will be handling the people on the docks, and Basil will be handling people in the city themselves. That way, if one of your men gets compromised in any way, it doesn't fall back onto the rest of us, and we can maneuver and handle it. But yes, anything you need to do, whether you need money, you need men, or you need me, myself, to show up, you let me know, and we will make it happen.
I'll take an extra day to recover, and then I'll get to work on it.
Please do. No use doing this while you're sick.
I'll start looking into that new war.
Lay the foundations, whatever you need to do. Other than that, gentlemen, thank you as always. Here's to the new future.
Some reading material for my sick bed.
I'm going to see if I can catch up with Miss Basil and the leather worker. Let me know if you need anything.
Can do.
We shall.
I don't know how you managed to do that.
Do what?
I was looking for you, and you managed to arrive in my hour of need.
Lola. Perfect. Well, here, let me put Lola away, and then, what do you need me for?
Work.
Ooh. Very fun. Like leather work or like cool work?
Is leather work not cool work?
I mean, it's alright. That's not what I would classify as cool, though. Good Lola, good Lola. Good job, Lola.
You got yourself an ass.
Good job, yes. It's technically not mine. It's a Hopper's ass. Oh, hold on. How do I...
So,
Move
dare I
there,
ask
Lola.
why you're
There
riding
you
Hopper's
go.
ass into town?
I just had to do a quick run. I really like her, him. It's technically a guy, but you know, I named her Lola, so it's Lola now. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Should we go to your shop? I need leather work done.
Sure.
I'm sorry, it's not exciting.
Ah, okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. You can make up a story on what you need it for or how you damaged your last ship. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Have you seen Ladia around town?
Head to
Huh?
the blacksmith.
Oh,
The Lord is gathering people to begin an incursion on the Orcs, or at least plan one.
okay.
If you wish
Thank
to
you.
assist, your blade would be useful.
Right.
I can make it quick if you would like. If you wish to accompany
Yeah.
the Lord.
Well, I don't really want to do the whole orc thing. I'll be honest, I am not the best equipped for orcs. I'm better against man. Okay, hold on, stay back. Okay. Okay, we're clear.
Checking for traps.
Shitty buckets, yeah.
Okay. I need a set of 3 leather chess pieces. Well,
3 chess pieces.
what is the difference between a
Okay,
chess piece and
they
a
would-
full leather?
Ooh, okay. So full suit of armor would cost you 1580 right now.
In total?
Just the chest piece, yes, in total. That is all 4 parts. If you want just the chest piece, that is 5 silver, 70.
We'll call it 16. 16 silver, and I need the 3 full
16?
chess pieces. How long will it take?
Oh, okay. So that was per suit.
That's why I asked altogether. Okay, it's 15 per.
Yeah. Sorry. That's the difference between the chest piece and the suit. Yeah. So okay. So it is 16 for one full one. So time, or 15. I can bump it down to 15 silvers per of them. So that's 15, 30, 45.
Just go for 2 full pieces, so that would be 30.
Yes, that'll work.
2 full pieces.
All right. Cool. I'll check in a few days. Wait, hold on. Let me think real hard real quick, just in case I have one already. Oh, boy. I do have one set that is done right now if you want it. Otherwise, the 2 will be done in a couple of days.
I'll wait. It's okay. It's not urgent at the moment.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Standard human male proportions.
Standard
I
human
assume?
male. If you can make it a little lower profile, that would be good. I mean, as you know.
Lower profile. All right. I won't do any intricate designs on it and stuff
No,
then.
function over form, or whatever it is. Thank you, Toddy. I will
Can do.
keep
All
an eye
right.
on you.
He's gone
Appreciate
now.
it. I suppose I should go see what the Lord wants and judge if I should join or not.
I went to go get some water.
Good
but
luck.
I'm-
You won't see me sticking my neck out.
Yeah.
You're saying they went to the
see.
well.
Ah, yes, that is it. I hate running in the hills. Hey, you run too fast.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just starting my day. Heard that the Lord wanted people near the blacksmith to talk, but I think I might have missed some. Not sure.
Doing business in the bushes?
If you must know, yes.
Alright.
Super fucking scary, super fucking dangerous. I personally wouldn't recommend it.
I second that.
Yeah.
Kill them all. That's right.
The only way we feel this might work.
If you guys are here for Arn, he's inside.
Young lord.
What does that say? Okay.
How can I help?
I've been told to bring Lord Jahina's armor, and unfortunately, a lot of the men are resting from yesterday's fight. So, is it okay for me to go in?
To bring his armor
No,
where?
I'm not touching that. I've been told to give him his armor. He did not have it on him.
Sure. Morning, Torty.
Hey.
You here for the meeting?
Morning. How are you?
Tired.
Well, I was told to kind of go to the meeting, but at the same time, I don't think it's a good idea if I fight orcs. I kind of get fucked up a lot every time.
At least if you know what's going
yeah.
on.
So can I go in just to watch and be like, I'm not involved? Oh, thank you.
For the further groups sent after. If the initial group cannot find these targets, we have no way of knowing if they're there, and thusly we cannot mark them for destruction. It is entirely important that the first group does as much recon as possible, as they will have the most time out of everyone else. Now is the time to ask questions if you have them.
Not so much a question as a suggestion. If you're
I'm
sending
listening,
in the
Slayer.
first group, the best idea would be to send in your stealthiest first. Get as much info on these Uruks as you can. If you can find out where they're coming from, for one, that'd be a good help.
We have our
The
suspicions
numbers
as to
have
where
to be
they're
coming
coming
somewhere.
from.
I know where they come from.
The Baron of Mem had spoken with the Vipeks about a month ago, accusing them of allowing the orcs to just wander into our province. The response he got was inconclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong, my lord, but they made it clear that they were protecting their own interests and couldn't protect the overways closest to them.
The Vipeks intend to do nothing. Your assumptions as far as all of our assumptions are correct. They will see us burn.
Bastards.
They could intervene, but they were protecting.
Is there any other dynasty we could appeal to help?
At the moment, the Baroness is in talks with Karbazra to see if they're willing to lend us manpower. You would like to fill us in on that, my lady?
I'm still receives back and forth at the moment. They are attempting to send what they can. It's still not fully. What is the word? Known. If they will actually send as much as we need or not.
Please remember that Karbazra relies on a lot of mercenary companies for their security. They'll have to rearrange contracts to be able to assist us, and that could take longer than we have. Once again, it'll be a fine balance between those of us who are the most skilled and those of us who understand it's a one-way trip. Those final groups are going to have to sincerely consider what it is that they're willing to do. The first group for reconnaissance will be led by my son. He will handpick who he's going to take with him. He knows to make a mix of those who are not the greatest at what we need to leave those with skill sets for more dangerous missions. All the information that could possibly be gathered, I will trust him to gather and give to further groups to seek and destroy. You have a few days to think about this before operations begin. We'll be providing you, thanks to the Redods and the Castellan, all the rope and hooks that you need. Outside of that, all it comes down to is what you're willing to volunteer. Those of you who know how to use
groups.
Speak.
I don't particularly know how aggressive they are, but if we can destroy the food supply first, that'd probably starve the wargs enough to consider attacking orcs, let them out and wreak havoc.
It's not a bad idea, but we have to find that food supply first, and also we are the food supply.
Could push them into more
we have to
desperate
find what they have
raids.
stored. Problem is, if they also get more aggressive, they're going to raid us more. And no lies at this table. According to the Castellan, both Palermo and Cassero, their garrisons are stretched thin. If Nautis is besieged, we have to protect Nautis. We cannot let it get to that point. Those towns will not be able to last. We will have to pull back what we have to secure here.
Suggestion then, for your forge problem. I don't know if it's just the forge itself, but from what I saw, they've got Dowie equipment up on their walls. Someone is maintaining it.
We're afraid that the
Kill the
orcs
people that are
might know what they're
maintaining it, or
doing.
free them, whichever one it may be.
I can fill you in on some details for that.
recon will tell us.
You think they might have Dawi prisoners?
I believe
For
so,
sure.
and if they do, then they will more than likely want to fight back. Give them a weapon and they'll fight to the death.
I hate to say it, but if that is the case, that might be the only way out for some of the later groups.
Then I'll volunteer.
I'm
going where give him Hellslayer.
We'll put on paper who volunteers for what in the days to come. This meeting is not for that.
What about other possible dynasties?
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
What about
Speak,
other dynasties
Sylvia.
besides Kar Basra? I mean, the Salzine, some of the others.
Sorry.
You held up your hand to stop, so.
Speak, Serevith, what is it?
I spent last night on the front lines with the 23rd. And I noticed something that could be a boon to us in these oncoming missions. There's a tower, the farthest one away from the fortress. It's tall enough where if anyone was up there, they could see down into the fortress, maybe a little bit. But as well, it's a vantage point to help out with making sure our people get out. I plan to commandeer it.
There might also be a quick way in. If it's taller than the walls, you might be able to set up a rappel line.
It would be far, but maybe.
I trust you will look farther into that. Good. Samuel.
It's good to hear that the Kar Basra might be helping, but what about some of the other dynasties? I know the dynasty up near where I am, where I came from, Narbeth, they have been dealing with orcs for a while. We could send message maybe that way, see if they have anything.
The very little that I know about Narbeth is that the Emir there has been applying and appealing to the council for support because he has nothing left to give. I doubt we'll get support from them if what he says is true.
Well, that may be true. He still has battle-tested advisors. Maybe they could be of use.
If I may, my lord.
Please, Crenshaw.
A missive was sent by one of my ravens. Out by me. No response yet. It has been around 2.5 weeks since it has been sent. We sent it everywhere. Still no response.
It seems the majority of the dynasties rather watch than assist.
You will not find assistance anywhere west of the narrow strait. We are on our own. As from what I understand, Belshoi also will remain out of our problems, so...
Belshoi, from what I understand, is more so elven refugees than any established dynasty. I don't think we can expect any help from them, though. Maybe some archers, if we can make some friends. But they'd have to want to come here, my lord.
Suppose you're correct.
Yes, Cass.
Would it help in the coming days to go out and hunt orc patrols? Keep the numbers down at least a little bit?
It's what we're trying to do every single day. The Imperial line is holding their assaults back. The Radard troops are striking back at what patrols or camps they can find. It is a back and forth. Unfortunately, they have far more numbers and heavier units than we do. When you have a number of men who have never had to fight orcs before, suddenly have to bring spears to bear on an ogre, things go very poorly very quickly. While I'm not against volunteers attempting to help thin the numbers, I think this will only buy us time. for now in the interim. That's why this solution is set to start taking place in the next few days, 2 or 3 at most. That is around the time frame I was told that hopefully our apothecary will have returned, because we need potions.
When exactly are you wanting us to go in? If we were to volunteer. The dead of night? Early morning?
The most dangerous thing when it comes to missions or operations that are meant to be covert is doing things at the same time is dangerous. It's easy to spot. The intent is to do this in the dead of night. It's to make it difficult for everyone.
Fuck.
But it's not like it could be done in daylight. There is no chance you'll be spotted with ease. Anything from early morning, early evening, and throughout the night, different hours of the night, is what we will shoot for. But understand the only way in that we know of, after scouting out the entire circumference, is a climb. And it is a long climb.
Time to do sappers, tunnel underneath.
We can try. I'm not against it. We do have someone who's very good at mining. But the problem is, he's not quiet.
There's the other problems of convincing the imps to borrow the gunpowder. The only thing that can get through that rock.
The Major is not exactly in a helpful mood. I've already spoken to Gradia, so that's out of my hands. If we can't get our hands on blasting powder, we'll find another way.
I have a unit of Gradian fire still. That thing.
Depending on
You
how-
still have the one that you had made like months ago?
I never used it. I still have it.
Well, we have 2 then.
You think that might be enough to slag through the rock in the foundations?
I don't know about the foundations, but either way, it could be a way to get rid of one of the generals fairly easily.
All the siege equipment.
Great cover if needed.
Yeah.
It's not a certain enough.
Either way, a useful asset.
Could even be
Regardless
used to
of if you can
destroy
get to
some of
stone.
the resources they have in that fortress.
Yes, Tom.
It might be possible that I'm able to put together something that's able to concentrate the heat of the Gradian fire, make it more precise for slagging through the foundations of their campments like they said, as well as something to assist in breaching their walls if need be.
There's another point to that. We've seen the trolls are wielding some of the goblins, the things the imps use. Small balls that explode. That means the orcs have blasting powder in their walls. Find that, set that ablaze if you're going to send off a hell of a firework.
Or steal
I can
it.
vouch for his words.
Mobile siege equipment attached to the back of the orcs.
Before you all
Or attached to
continue
the back
your
of our ogres.
discussions, this is a very, very dangerous thing that we are asking of you all. Is why we say this is volunteer. Most of you aren't from here. Most of you aren't born from this. And the fact that you are here to help us brings us just a smidge of hope. But we have a lot of expectations of what we need. My son, Castellan.
It's not often that I use these words, but I am pleading for your assistance in this matter. Everything you have heard from the good Lord Erdard is true. Some of these missions are nigh suicidal. And I will not ask you any more that any one of you would ask of each other. But now more than ever, I look to all of you to save my home, my mother's home, and the home of my forefathers.
I'll put it quite plainly to all of you. Many of you know me, know what I've gone through in my life, how hard I've had to fight. Let me just reiterate in plain language, this will be the most difficult thing you will have ever undertaken in your lives, more than likely. And if not, it's going to be a very close second. We plead for you to help us to volunteer, not just for us, but for everyone else that calls this place home, because they can't fight like you can. Not even close. If we do not do this, Nautis will be wiped off the face of this earth. It will be a slaughter, pure and simple. So I beg you, please, do this, but do it right. Otherwise, well, the consequences will be too dire to even mention.
You've heard it from Baron, Baroness, and still themselves. I am not from here, most of you are not from here, but we live here. This has been our home for the past year or plus for some of you. A lot of us have been running for a while. We're no strangers to fighting. But a lot of times we've come out with more corpses than we have friends, but that's the way of the world. If we don't do this, many more than just the people in this room will die. Some of you have put down your roots here, some of you have found a family here, a life here, self included. I ask you to fill out your ballots. There'll be parchment at the table. Put down your name and which day you're willing to go, or which trip I should say, 1 through 5. They shall be looked at throughout the night, and the teams shall be built tomorrow. I implore you all to gather whatever gear you can. Climbing equipment will be provided. It will be impossible to make that climb and get over with armor unless it is something light. So combat is to be avoided at all costs. Once they are loaded, they are loaded. You will be in a circle with no escape. Think heavily over this. If you think you are capable, volunteer. If you don't, do not. I can find a use for you somewhere else. There's a difference between selling your life dearly for something that you want to protect and throwing it away. Do not throw it away. I still need people to assist Tang with the ballista and dragging the Cyclops. Outside of that, I don't have anything, my lords, my lady.
I have one thing, my lord.
Again. Please.
My ravens have sent a quite deal amount of missives. The interior of this orc encampment is like a maze. If you do decide to go in there, do not get lost and stay close to your friends. Otherwise, you'll be as good as dead. That is all, my lord. Baroness.
If someone gets stranded or left behind, you don't have time, is what we're saying. Lady.
All I can really say is for those who volunteer, thank you. If I could, if I was raised differently, if I was part of my own guard, I would go myself. That is how much I love my home, where we are. But I will fight for my own, on my own terms, in my own way. And I thank you for fighting such a dangerous fight for us.
Let it be known.
Yes, go.
Let it be known to those who volunteer themselves. The last act of our plans. You will be rewarded exponentially. And I will owe a debt to you that I feel I may not be able to repay. And you will be known forever throughout all of Nautis. So I thank you. Each and every single one of you in this room. And may you go with the blessings of my family.
With the many faces in here from all different walks of life. Choose your friends and keep them close, especially on these. You don't want to lose those you care about.
I have nothing else for the rest of you. You know what the plan is, what we intend to do. If you have any ideas or anything you want to bring forth, I will be around. Otherwise, you are free to go.
Lord, if I may. You know of my tracking abilities. Let me assist Tang with the Cyclops.
Very well. Seems you'll have one of my men with you, Mr. Tang.
I would like to assist as well.
This is a long shot, Lord Marshal.
I need to talk to you at some point.
But the team's going in at night. Will they have access to a certain potion that I've heard about?
Well, we have nothing of the sort, I'm afraid. You're not the first to ask.
If you wish to volunteer, write your name on a piece of parchment and set it here, beside in this bowl.
I'm asking.
Very well.
If there are no further questions, think about it. You all are free to depart when you wish.
Miller. If you're going first, I have a plan.
Here, Lord Marshal, for at the moment.
If I can go with.
As
I think I have my tea.
I need to confirm one thing about
I never got to you.
Yep. Come to when you're
It's fine, I
ready.
got my own.
that's
I also
fine.
knocked over a bunch of cats. Give me a moment.
There's
Young lord,
a possibility they may send a reclamation force, or is
might I steal your ear for a second?
Of course.
either which way. For what we discussed before,
Let us head upstairs.
messages have been sent. Merely wait for the arrival of the Raven.
Copper for your thoughts.
And we are the other the King is. It'll be up to the High
I
King.
will defend it to my last.
Yeah. But
Whether
at the
it's my
very
life
least,
or my
Can we go
months.
to the store?
You can only go on one of them.
I don't know what I
I'll
can
give you
do.
my life however you wish to spend it, be it in for
Some guys on the front lines.
You already know
They
what
have no
I
other
use.
armor than my
Whatever day
plate.
you're going on, I want to go on.
Do you guys have any more of
Can
those?
you help me anything out?
We're good
If
as
fate
a
comes for you, so be it.
Yeah, that's settled
Tang,
up.
to be honest.
No.
I'll make sure I read the tally for you.
You get to decide which one we're going on, because I ain't letting you go alone.
Our Lord or Quartermaster.
Well, I want to wait until after the first one gets
Just some information. I thought you should know is all.
Of course.
You were not there for the beginning portion of our little talk there. But my ravens have gathered this. The orcs for sure have at least 5 generals. They seem to operate over several different things. There is one that might pique your interest. Grasnak, the head taker. He commands a shulk infantry of sorts of berserkers. Have you heard of him?
Name rings a bell. I can't remember if that's the one we ran into. All their names kind of sound similar. Was he the one that attacked the Iron Mine?
Yes, that is the one.
I have a score to settle.
And I guess it's talking to the hunters.
Very well, then. We shall see that you can take his head. Keep in mind, they are very well organized. They have been seen by some of our Erdhard scouts setting up ambushes in the Sabine forest. If you do venture out that far, please keep your eyes open, and your ears well endowed to any sound. We were also making efforts to contact with other cities. We are spreading the word for more Giwan refugees to take up the cause. Do not be afraid to spread the word, the last of the Lord of Giwans. We need to attract as many fighting men as possible.
Will do.
Very well, my boy. How do you fare other than that?
Tired. Still sore from yesterday. This reclaiming of a lead mine for the Imperials left me wounded, but still moving.
We need volunteers who are willing.
That is all that matters. What does not kill you shall make you stronger. I shan't poke you here any longer. We can make our way back downstairs.
Thank you as always, Crenshaw.
Yes, I'm around, dear boy. If you ever need assistance, do not be afraid to ask.
I've started putting into practice the things you were talking about yesterday.
I think I should go with Tang.
Yes. How is it faring for you?
We'll see how it turns out.
We would have forces against the portcullis.
The thing about no such things is it's only a matter of time until we figure out the results. So,
I'll let you know.
Bigger things like that, so I believe you a lot more than
I look forward to it.
As much as I would like to accept that, you are wherever the 23rd puts you.
Not during these.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
really
talk to
working my
Laudia.
butt off still.
This
and
is
I'll
different.
much fun with his head rage. So.
They can't have me
It's up to
forever.
her.
In fact, I'm gonna go see if I can find my dad.
That is up to her and not me.
And if I get her permission, then will we talk about this?
Then we can talk about it.
Good.
Pardon, excuse.
I've already signed up if you wanted to move on.
There's
Lord Marshal.
thinking about it.
Hold on, I have an idea. You first, Matthias.
This may be a selfish question to ask. Possible. I have only heavy armor. Would it even be possible to have leathers available if I were to go?
I have a spare leather that I have not used that Miss Tori had made for me. They seem nearly the same size. Just have her get it fit on you. I'll lend it to you.
I
appreciate
shall grab
it.
that now, my lord.
Thank you. Put it in his possession at once. There's nothing selfish
Thanks.
about it, Matthias.
Well, I think I can speak for majority of folk that, well, damned if you do, damned if you
Well, I
don't.
know if I get to choose about this. If God knows this, I would be here.
Thank you for inviting me into your home.
I only sent a runner. I didn't ask permission.
Is that much better having you in here?
Volunteer, I don't think. I don't
Yes,
know.
guys.
The Greys are smart, you said, so my idea I just had is we might be able to lure one of the generals into a location if we can forge a note for him and have an earlier team put it in there. Might make the later jobs easier.
Maybe. I'm willing to give it a shot, but we don't know what they read and write. We'll have to figure that out.
Let me hold
You can
the
always
language
try
like
and
that,
lure
so
a
we get
Gradia.
Group, do you wish to be a part of?
Challenging myself and he heard me.
Well,
I can put in my
it's always the
sigil and see if
universal
he'll
language.
welcome to a duel.
Well, Mavy's choice is based off of
I
what the
don't know
first
if this
team
is the
finds.
correct spelling of
I think
the
that is a good
Sneaky.
idea.
I will assume it's
Important.
S-I-G...
You're sneaky.
Me and Astrahan are at your
I know.
disposal.
Small
You know my
dice.
strengths well.
To
Put me where you think is best.
You're gonna
Young
volunteer.
lord? You'll have to volunteer
Are
yourself.
you
Do you know if the sword that I commissioned is
I
done?
volunteered
It's
on the
been
day brought it up.
about a week or so.
Then it should be done.
And I don't want to be the reason that your story comes
I
to
have a
pass.
plan now
Samuel
too.
can lead you to it. Just your
Well,
neighbor.
gives
Either way, my name is in the bowl. and
Samuel?
That sword killed
Pose
more
a
than
sign
you.
for it. That is the
you can
case.
have this one too, as per our deal.
I'm gonna run it by the man himself, and we'll see.
And sure, put it towards making you armor. Yeah, we can talk about it. Details.
Can't buy
Yes,
it.
I need to talk with Morian. I'll be back to get the sword and discuss things.
Okay, understood. This is a steel greatsword.
Yeah, I'd rather some people clear out first.
Please. I'll be around.
Thank you,
Thank you.
my lord.
I have,
I'm patient
an old
and stealthy.
man.
Right. Crenshaw. Thank you.
Get that fitted soon.
Going to see Tori immediately when she's available.
One more thing, Lord.
Hello, Drudge.
Joe.
Need something?
Day, Judge. Oh,
Listen,
the champion.
to ask Hopper.
What you wanna know?
Which one did you sign up for, Hopper?
Any technically, but I have an idea. Need to run it by Iron. Or Lord Earhart. Too many names.
I mean, I wouldn't mind accompanying you so that, we can fight together.
So I'm going to begin prepping for this Cyclops.
Keep in mind. Thank you.
You two return to your posts. Yes, Samuel, what do you need?
Since you seem to have had more word from Amir than I have recently, you had stated that he has little to offer.
Everything that I've
But-
heard has come from the capital.
Even then, he's been looking for people to help him. If you appeal for his help and then promise to help him back, he might be able to send something. Maybe not soldiers, but maybe some more supplies. Something.
You really think that?
I do. He's been trying for years and years to get anyone to help him. And if another dynasty is willing to reach out a hand,
Then I bid you to speak to Crenshaw. Tell him what you think we should say. He'll send a raven.
we'll do.
We use all the help we could get.
Shall we?
We can.
Please follow me upstairs.
Lord Earhart.
Mr. Hopper.
Do you think you could get any of that climbing equipment tonight?
I'd have to talk to them. Not sure. Why?
I have an idea. I don't have them very often. If I can get up there, probably what Sarah was talking about, or even on the wall, I can get a map, and I can reproduce the map fairly quickly, thanks to some help with Markle. If our teams have a map of what they're going into.
I doubt you'll be able to see the whole thing from a tower outside the walls. But you're free to try and look.
If I can get up on the wall itself and run around until I have to run away. As long as I can see it, I can create it.
Once you go in, they'll catch your scent. You won't be able to go in again.
We shall start picking.
Not really fucking useful for much after that anyways. I don't really one-on-one fight with orcs.
Appreciate that, sir.
Or, up
And
close.
If it turns into a fight at all, it's going to be fucked. So.
Exactly. So if I can stay on the wall, produce a map that could possibly
Mr.
save
Hopper.
the rest of the groups going in after.
How badly do you want to help?
I mean, it's that or die at the moment, so fairly badly.
Just give me a straight answer, Mr. Hopper.
I want to help. Trying to find a way that I can do it.
Might have a solution. Hey, you won't fucking like it, but I might have a solution.
I don't like mine, to be fair. I just think it could be useful.
Yeah.
I can think of a good way to see it.
I think first you should mention.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Talking about the griffin, my lord.
Since I've been in his service for many
Oh.
years. So that way he knows.
Yeah.
I'm not even that crazy. Fuck.
You were allowed to get close to it the other day.
I know that's the scariest part of it is it might work. That could all I had to do, according to Marco. I just had to see it. I have the potion.
That's it. See.
If he
yeah.
can see at night.
That I don't know. I would assume that.
Yeah, that wasn't a question I asked.
Easy recon, but they said.
But I have the potion so I can see, and if I can see it.
He told me.
Some ring or some of them.
Yeah. It's up to him.
Yeah, if I could get an aerial view, see it, I could reproduce maps. Because once I go in, I'm done anyways. So if I don't sleep for 2 days, I just fucking make maps.
Or validate.
There's also.
Real. He's been dealing with orcs.
There might be something possible.
Two different groups. One that goes
I'll work up your courage. We'll see if that's something we can do. Either today.
I'll see if I can get a ball of meat. Yeah.
Cyclops to the wall.
Yeah, no, I'm down to try that.
First one's recon, and
I got everything else I need. It would just be
from there they go on to track the
that.
warlords.
First flying hobbit. We're gonna be put on the map.
I don't know. Dredge kind of got that first, I think.
Man told me outside if need work, go to old man in.
I don't know what your plan is. I don't ask why, but I have a very nice bottle of poisoned wine that might take down an orc. If you guys are actually going in, you could plant it.
There's 5 generals and 5 groups going in. Each group's going to take out a general at least. But I have
I'm just
poison that's more of an acid than anything.
I see, so he lied to me, yes.
Mine's you drink it, it tastes good, you die. Even if you just leave it behind, you might get one. I was going to use it, but your father kind of bent me to my target, so.
Good. And find the Warforged, Mr. Tank.
If it can work for you, you can have it.
It'll be
It'd
rewarded.
be better than getting caught with it in the city.
Так, here, friend.
I need you soon.
I need a drink.
Metal man, yes?
Yes, the blue metal man.
Yeah, lovely.
Suggestion. It sprung to mind after the conversation with the Cyclops. From what I've heard, the skin is almost impenetrable to most arms and weapons, but it is a beast. What if we were to use the Gradian fire on it, send it into a frenzy? If it's a beast, it might be perturbed or sent crazy because of the fire that's on its skin. It wouldn't go off, and it could potentially set everything else around it ablaze as well.
It's not a bad thought. If you remember, Gradian fire is mostly liquid flame, so that would be catastrophic. That is a good idea.
Thank you, sir.
I'll pass it along.
Understood.
I've already fucked with those bastards once. I don't have interest in going again.
Lady knows this. To what do I owe the honor of such a prestigious event as your visit?
Well, my property seemed to be in your abode. And I've heard you need some help.
Well, the dynasty needs help. It's not going to be any place to lord over, my lady, if everyone's orc shit.
Well then,
What's the gist of it?
do you want our help or not?
I am sure that the dynasty would be very grateful if one of the wealthiest women in the province would be willing to lend her property to save the province, yes.
You will not be going on that final mission. From what you said, it's a suicide mission.
It is.
I will not be losing my property. So tell me, where can I send him that he's assured to return?
If he's confident about being able to sneak, one of the first, second, or third missions will not be nearly as bad as the last two. If you are that concerned, there's also a Cyclops that needs wrangling. It's between you and him.
I see.
I'm not
Tell
eager
me.
to face that Cyclops again. First,
Fair enough, neither am I.
Then which one? Decision time.
Sharik is leading first one, right? Probably best for me to go with him.
Best insurance, he'd be going with my son.
Then I'll sign him over to you.
Very well. Make sure nothing happens.
Good. You hear that, boy?
I've seen him work. I'm confident.
Shall we?
My lord. Raven has just been sent. We should hear back them hopefully soon.
Excellent. This is good news. I hope we do hear from them soon, because God knows we need it.
The lad had an interesting way of putting things. But if he has told me, and if this is true, then I think we might get some help. Who knows? Only time will tell.
The rest of you can return to your posts. I must speak with my son.
Can probably wait.
The first iteration is going to be your responsibility.
Makes sense.
We need to know where everything is.
Naturally going to suggest it, since you didn't have it in the last ones.
Actual targets, side targets, prisoners, where their meat is, where their forges, anything of note or interest, what could be poisoned, what could be used for collateral damage. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, that's what I'm good at. I have a team in mind, but it sounds like might not get my ideal team.
Well, at the end of the day, I will give you the final say. But I would want to put those who I have the least faith in to go first. You get my meaning.
Less skilled. No, I understand. My original plan was Sarah and Tang. But Tang's doing something already, is he?
Tang can't be quiet, my son.
He has another set of armor.
Makes him lighter, not quieter.
But he's better going on the first or second or third group than later on when it's more dangerous, right? For that reason.
He's better off getting the Cyclops in position.
Yeah. The reason I wanted him specifically was he has an eye for measurements. I wanted to get an accurate map as possible. And he could help set up foundations for ways to slip in and out to make it easier for other groups. Scrape some handholds or set some ropes up. He can climb like Sarah and I can. And he doesn't, well, does he smell? He smells like oil or whatever.
I think the one thing he'd have going for him is he wouldn't really have a scent. He's loud as hell.
He can hang back.
This might not be a problem if he's underground. But I'm telling you now, we make a tunnel. It's probably only going to be good for one group. They will find it. They're not foolish.
the main reason I want him is for his ability to map something out precisely. The plan would be to go and have Sarah point out this tower to overlook it, have Tang estimate it, draw a rough sketch map first, and then move in and get better details, find weak points, and he is probably the most accurate person about recording that.
Then you're going to have to find out from him what he's looking for. Take more time with what you're doing.
Yep.
Do what you can, whether it's take notes, sketch,
yep.
Whatever you feel is the best idea. And bring it back to him, and we have to go off of his estimations.
Okay. Hop is confident in his ability to map?
Seems to be.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, something about needing Markle for it.
Alright, I'll talk to them.
This makes me think of something that... God, I can't remember. Mirandel had spoken about, and then he didn't elaborate.
He speaks about a few things, but yeah.
No, something about... an item that Markle has. I don't remember. So it smells like magic bullshit to me, and I would ask you to look into it, make sure it doesn't blow up in our face.
I'll do that after this. And then Sarah, obviously, to lead me to the tower, and because I trust her to watch my arse, but she's also one of the more stealthier people. So... But she can also go cataclysmically wrong if she is hurt or in danger.
I guess we'll find out.
How comfortable are you about getting Hopper on that griffin?
I talked to him. Seemingly a pleasant conversation. What was the name given? It was Nostrum and Selec, or something of the sort.
Elvish?
The griffin's name.
Oh, Griffinish.
No language I've ever heard before in my life. I wonder if they have their own.
Lonely language. Well, that would be good.
He told Harper to tell me that he said yes.
Said yes.
I asked him to come home with me.
Well, that would bolster the troops.
Like no other. It's massive.
I've only seen it from a distance.
Would you like to get closer?
You said he judges people on their honorableness.
Judge of character. Off of who they are. The honor that they have. Honor is very important to such majestic beings. You're worried about your past, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know what it can see and sense, and I don't know. That's why I've been hesitant about seeing it.
I don't either. I don't think you'd be judged nearly as harshly as you think you'd be.
Well, he's your friend, so...
You're not the Blint boy I met 3 years ago.
Yeah, I
Which
think
shows how took the lessons you learned from him.
Yeah.
Kyler, if people aren't allowed to grow and be better, then no one could ever achieve being a good man. It takes mistakes and accidents to become a good man.
Do you think the Griffin knows that?
I do. I do believe that.
Then set a meeting whenever you want.
Set a meeting. Let me just go find him.
Pencil it in or something.
When he decides to show himself, I will do so.
See if we can get an airborne hopper. And if not, or even if he does, then I might take him instead of Tang then, if Tang's busy. I just really, if I am going to go in there to map this out, I want to make sure I get it as accurate as possible, you know. If I can help everyone else, then great.
Kylo, what happens on those final runs aren't your responsibility. I understand wanting to help, and I know where this is coming from. But you can't do everything, and you can't be everywhere at once.
If you have the ability to do something and choose not to, that's just, you know, it's complacent. I know I would be...
I said that to you back in Ludford.
Yeah. You've made it clear that...
I think you've just answered your own question about how that griffin will perceive you.
I hope so. Look, you don't want me going on those last 2 missions. I know there's no point arguing with you, so I want to make sure I can do everything I can from whatever position I am in. And maybe it'll save someone.
Then I shall not stop you. Very well. Preparation is key in these sorts of things.
I'll go talk to Hopper and
The
Markle.
mortality rate is going to be so high that I cannot order someone to do this.
Yeah.
I know how you feel. It's why the distraction attacks, I'll be leading them myself.
I suppose I can accompany you for one of them, since I'm not long going into the fortress anymore. It'll be during the night.
I'll need your eyes.
I can, get you 1 or 2 of those seeing in the dark potions, if it'll help you.
It would help me command my men, that's for sure.
I have 2 I can give. Anything more would be too hard.
It might be better for those going within.
We'll see who goes
Whoever
along.
you think out of those groups, when I find out who's with what, I'll let you decide who gets them.
Okay. So, are you okay with myself, Sarah, Hopper, and... Dredge is really fucking sneaky, though. Like, he is good. But
So you've told me. I don't disbelieve you. He's appeared behind me a few times.
But if Knowles just won't let him go unless he's with me, then...
The way I see it is, even though you are going for recon, you are killing one of the generals. That is still a goal.
Crenshaw's identified one of them. Gonna try and get rid of him.
Which one?
Something Headtaker, the leader of the shock troops. The one that we fought at the Iron Line.
Grasnak, he's the one who... Yeah.
Yeah.
It might almost be best if you went for another. The simple reason that our Slayer Dowie goaded it into attacking him one-on-one. He injured it pretty severely, hurt its hubris. We might be able to draw that one outside the walls.
That would be fantastic if we can.
Might.
He would have to be in one of the first couple of ones. He won't go out if he sees the rest of his generals going.
Or maybe he will. You have to understand there's a balance here. What would look more spectacular and make the other orcs fall in line?
You're right.
But what can he risk without getting himself killed? They're smart.
You're right.
They'll know what Slayers are, my boy. Slayers seek out something of worth to kill them. He'll probably expect just that.
Alright, I'll identify one of the other ones and take them out then.
Very good.
Maybe if there's one in charge of the walls.
We'll find
or
out what
something.
those Markle or whoever is up to.
I'll handle it. I'll let you know. If I can understand it.
Thank you, my boy.